For almost 50 years, the Center for Lay Ministries has developed and provided services to people in need in our community. The Center for Lay Ministries, also known as CLM, was started by the downtown Jeffersonville churches who worked together to start a food distribution ministry for Clark County in the late 1960s. CLM was incorporated in May of 1970 and with a board of directors comprised of members of those supporting churches and the help of many volunteers, started a food pantry. While many things have changed over the course of the last 50 years, our core values and goal of providing food to those in need have remained the same. We still receive support from the downtown churches, and we depend heavily on our volunteers and board to help carry out our mission. In 2001, we expanded that mission to include the Bliss House, a residential recovery program for women. The mission of the Center for Lay Ministries is to provide services to the vulnerable population in the local community with compassion, dignity, and respect. We know that 1 in 6 children in the United States live in households that struggle to put food on their table. In other words, they are food insecure, which means that children right here in Clark County aren't getting enough to eat and their health is being compromised by an insufficient diet. Our goal is to help supply food to these families each month. In addition to providing food to families, we see many adults on fixed incomes, the homeless population, and people whose financial situations may have changed, temporarily or permanently. With the help of over 100 volunteers, the food pantry is open 6 days a week to meet the needs of people in Clark County. One of the stories that really sticks out in my mind is a woman who came up right as I was locking the door one day. It was a Friday afternoon, and she came up saying, "Am I too late? Can I still get some food? I don't have any food." So we let her in. She was carrying with her in a car seat an 11-month-old baby. She told us that she was living in a local hotel and that she really didn't have any food at all. And so we were able to help her that day. We were able to get her some food for herself and for the baby. We had some Cheerios and we had some baby food. And so I knew that we had fed them for at least several days. And it just really made a difference and touched my heart on how much of a difference we can make here in Clark County by helping people with their food needs.
As a part of the Center for Lay Ministries, the Bliss House is a residential program for women in recovery from alcohol and substance abuse. Our mission at Bliss House is to foster long-term recovery for women addicted to alcohol and other substances. One of our goals here at Bliss House is to empower them to love themselves. We do that by loving them until they're capable of loving themselves. Our motto here at Bliss House is, "Together we can do what I cannot do alone."
I never believed that I would be an alcoholic drug addict. I was raised with a beautiful family. I had morals and values. We went to church, and then the next thing I know, I am addicted to heroin and meth, and I can't go a day without it. My family wasn't even in my life anymore because they didn't want anything to do with me, and I was going to die of this disease, and I was aware of it, and I had accepted it more than anything, and I was okay with it. So it was kind of my last try. I had been to a lot of different rehab centers, and I thought, we'll just try it one more time. My sobriety date is January 11th, 2016. I had been to rehab centers and I had been to detox and this and that, but this place is a home that teaches you not only how to be sober, but how to live, and I didn't know how to get up every day and go to a job without putting a drug inside my body. I started using and drinking at such a young age. I didn't know how to wash clothes, go to the grocery, cook. They taught me without making me feel less than. They are my family. I'm probably closer to Tiffany and the girls that I went through this house than anybody in my life. They are the first people I call when I have good news, bad news, or I just need somebody to walk me through it. My experience at the Bliss House saved my life, 100%.
We currently have the capacity to house 12 women plus a live-in resident coordinator. Most of our referrals come from the courts and legal systems, treatment centers, and self-referrals. Residents must complete the 12-step recovery program, and they must adhere to structured, non-negotiable house rules. Residents participate in the Recovery Dynamics program, which is a powerful tool to help them work through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. Each step is taken individually and in depth from 1 through 12, and with written assignments from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, which fully explains what each step means and how it works. We require them to find employment within 2 weeks of entering Bliss House. They're responsible to pay their weekly rent, they're assigned daily chores, they make the weekly grocery list, and they do the grocery shopping. We believe all women who enter and complete our program have the tools necessary to be successful, sober members of our community.
We are so grateful to the many volunteers, donors, partners, board members, and employees who have supported our mission and work for nearly 50 years. With these programs, we know that we are helping people and saving lives right here in our community. We always need more volunteers, more donors, and more partners. To get involved, please contact the Center for Lay Ministries.